and welcome to A Pilgrimage of Poetry, your daily source of works throughout time. I hope you, along with many others, enjoy this podcast. Thanks for tuning in.
Ione by Laurence Dunbar. Part 3. Today my skies are bare and ashen, and bend on me without a beam. Since love is held the master passion, its lost must be the pain supreme, and grinning fate has wrecked my dream. But pardon, dear departed guest, I would not rant, I will not rail, for good the grain must feel the flail. There are whom love has never blessed. I had and have a younger brother, one whom I love and love today, as never fond and doting mother adored the babe who found his way from heavenly scenes into her day. Oh, he was full of youth's new wine, a man on life's ascending slope, flushed with ambition, full of hope, and every wish of his was mine. A kingly youth, the way before him was throned with victories to be won, so joyous too the heavens o'er him were bright with an unchanging sun. His days with rhyme were overrun, toil had not taught him nature's prose, tears had not dimmed his brilliant eyes, and sorrow had not made him wise. His life was in the budding rose. I know not how I came to waken, some instinct pricked my soul to sight. My heart by some vague thrill was shaken, a thrill so true and yet so slight, I hardly deemed I read aright. As when a sleeper, ignorant why, not knowing what mysterious hand has called him out of slumberland, starts up to find some danger nigh. Love is a guest that comes unbidden, but, having come, asserts his right. He will not be repressed nor hidden, and so my brother's dawning plight became so uncovered to my sight. Some sound mote in his passing tone caught in the meshes of my ear, some little glance, a shade too dear, betrayed the love he bore Ione. What could I do? He was my brother, and young, and full of hope and trust. I could not, dared not try to smother his flame, and turned his heart to dust. I knew how oft life gives a crust to starving men who cry for bread, but he was young, so few his days, he had not learned the great world's ways, nor disappointment's volumes read. However fair and rich the booty, I could not make his loss my gain, for love is dear, but dearer duty, and here my way was clear and plain. I saw how I could save his pain. And so, with all my day grown dim, that this loved brother's sun might shine, I joined his suit, gave over mine, and sought Ione to plead for him. I found her in an eastern bower, where all day long the amorous sun lay by to woo a timid flower. This day his course was well nigh run, but still with lingering art he spun gold fancies on the shadowed wall. The vines waved soft and green above, and there where one might tell his love, I told my griefs, I told her all. I told her all, and as she hearkened, a teardrop fell upon her dress. With grief her flushing brow was darkened, one sob that she could not repress betrayed the depths of her distress. Upon her grief my sorrow fled, and I was bowed with unlived years. My heart swelled with sea of tears, the tears my manhood could not shed. The world is Rome, the fate is Nero, disporting in the hour of doom. God made us men, times makes the hero, but in that awful space of gloom I gave no thought but sorrow's room. All was dim within that bower, what time the sun divorced the day, and all the shadows, glooming gray, proclaimed the sadness of the hour. She could not speak, no word was needed. Her look, half strength and half despair, told me I had not vainly pleaded, that she would not ignore my prayer, and so she turned and left me there, and as she went, so passed my bliss. She loved me, I could not mistake, but for her own and my love's sake, her womanhood could rise to this. My wounded heart fled swiftly to cover, and life at times seemed very drear. My brother proved an ardent lover. What had so young a man to fear? He wed Ione within the year, no shadow clouds her tranquil brow. Men speak her husband's name with pride, while she sits honored by his side. She must be happy now. I doubt the course I took no longer, since those I love seem satisfied. The bond between them will grow stronger, as they go forward side by side. Then will my pains be justified. Their joy is mine, and that is best. I am not totally bereft, for I have still the memory left. Love stopped with me, a royal guest.
If you liked this production, please leave a review. You can find us on YouTube or give us a follow on Instagram and Patreon at Pilgrimage of Poetry. To support the show, you can share it on any messaging platform or social media. As always, thank you for listening.